At some point, someone communicated to you, not always in words, that you were a lot, too intense, too emotional, too loud, too sensitive, too needy. The message came in different forms: a look, a withdrawal, a room that went quiet when you walked in. And somewhere in you, without making a conscious decision, you believed it, and you started editing yourself down. You got quieter in certain rooms. You learned to read the energy before you spoke. You stopped saying the thing fully. You said the safe version instead. You laughed when you wanted to cry. You said you were fine when you weren't. You became, over time, expert at making yourself the right size for whatever space you were in. And here is the part that makes this so devastating. It worked. The edited version was received better. People called you easygoing, low maintenance, chill, and you accepted those words as compliments, not understanding what they were actually telling you: that they preferred you when you were less yourself, that your full presence was something they needed you to manage on their behalf. Here is the truth about being called too much: it was never a measurement of you, it was a measurement of them. The people who told you that you were too much did not have the capacity to hold all of you. That is their limitation. That has always been their limitation. And you spent years, possibly decades, shrinking yourself to fit it, as though the problem were your size and not their ceiling. The right people will not experience you as too much. They will sit in your intensity without looking for the exit. They will hold your feelings without making you feel like a burden for having them. They won't need you to be quieter to feel comfortable, because your full presence won't threaten them. It will be exactly what they needed. But you have been performing the edited version for so long that you have genuinely lost touch with the original. You don't know your own volume anymore. You check whether something is acceptable before you let yourself think it fully. The editing is no longer a choice. It has become a reflex, a second nature, a cage you stopped noticing because you built it so gradually, and because the people on the outside kept telling you it looked like freedom. This is not a small thing to recover from. The systematic reduction of yourself to fit other people's comfort is one of the quietest and most costly things a person can go through, because there is no single moment of loss, no event to point to, just years of small disappearances that added up to a stranger in the mirror. But you were not too much. You were in the wrong rooms, and the difference between those two things is the difference between a life spent shrinking and a life spent finding the spaces where all of you is not just tolerated, but needed. You are allowed to take up exactly as much space as you actually take up. Start there.